Have you ever been there? You're in a really important moment, like maybe a job interview or giving a big presentation, and you know your English is good, you really do. But then this tiny little word makes you hesitate. Stop and think, wait, is it A or N here? It seems so small, doesn't it? But those little moments, those tiny bits of friction, well, they can subtly undermine your confidence, even if you're actually pretty fluent overall. Because, great communication is not always about using fancy words. Often it's about using the small words really, really well, effortlessly. So your main message just shines through. And that specific point, A versus N, is exactly what we're diving deep into today. We're not treating it like some basic grammar lesson you had years ago. No, this is about refining your fluency, boosting that professional edge. We've been digging into this great material, Mastering A versus N for Fluent English by Teacher Sam. And honestly, even if you think you know this rule inside out, there are always little ways to polish it to make it completely automatic.
Absolutely. And our mission for you today, it isn't just about revisiting the what. We all sort of know the basic rule. It's about getting into the why it matters so much, especially in advanced communication. And most importantly, how you can practice this so it becomes second nature. Completely intuitive. We're going to unpack some surprising details and share some really practical techniques. The goal is to shift this from a rule you consciously apply to just how you speak. Confident, natural, fluent.
Okay, so let's get into that why. Why does this tiny distinction carry so much weight, especially when you're aiming for real fluency? Think about this example. I saw an elephant at the zoo. Now, look, everyone understands the meaning, right? It's perfectly clear what you saw.
The meaning gets across.
But for a native or highly fluent speaker, it creates a tiny speed bump. Doesn't quite sound right compared to, I saw an elephant at the zoo, same information. But one just flows. It sounds polished, confident. Why is that?
It's fascinating, isn't it, how those tiny linguistic choices impact perception almost instantly. When you're speaking, especially in, say, professional settings or public speaking, anything that disrupts that natural rhythm, the expected sound pattern of English, it can subtly pull your listener's attention away, just for a fraction of a second. If you think bigger picture, it's about reducing cognitive load. For you, the speaker, so you're not constantly self-monitoring these tiny things, and for your listener too, so they can just absorb your message without any subconscious static or friction. It's really about building those automatic habits for smoother, clearer communication.
Absolutely. Seamless is the goal. And the key to making this particular rule automatic, it boils down to one crucial thing we have to internalize. It is all about the sound, not the letter itself. We know the basic rule. A before consonant sounds, N before vowel sounds.
Yeah.
Simple enough. But this sound, not letter point, that's where things can get a bit tricky, even for advanced speakers sometimes.
You've hit the nail on the head. That's precisely where our brains can kind of trick us. We see the written word, the spelling, first, right? But the absolute critical point is to focus on the initial sound of the word that comes next, the very first sound you actually make. If you can train your ear to instantly identify, is that a vowel sound or a consonant sound, then you've basically cracked it for automatic use.
And that leads us straight into those interesting cases, the ones that seem to break the spelling rule. Take university. Starts with U. That's a vowel letter, plain and simple. But when you say it, you, that first sound is like the Y in yes. It's a consonant sound.
Right.
So it's always a university. I remember hearing in university once, and it catches your ear in the wrong way.
Exactly. Or flip it around. Think about hour.
Good one.
Starts with H, a consonant letter. But that H is totally silent, isn't it?
Right. You don't say air.
No, you say air. Starts fair and square with the vowel sound, so it has to be an hour.
Okay. And what about acronyms? Like MBA for the degree.
Another great example. M is clearly a consonant letter.
Yeah.
But how do you pronounce the letter M when you say the acronym? You say M.
M starts with an E sound, vowel sound.
Precisely. So it's an MBA degree. It really forces you to tune into your own pronunciation.
It really does. It's about training your ear, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than just applying a visual rule.
100%. I often suggest just saying the tricky word out loud. Forget the spelling for a second. What sound comes out first? That sound is your guide. It connects the rule directly to how you actually speak, which actually raises a really useful question for anyone wanting to refine their fluency. Are you actively listening to your own pronunciation as you talk? It's such a key part of self-correction and getting to that mastery level.
Okay, so to really get a feel for this, let's run through some of those engaging real-life examples from Teacher Sam's material. Notice the flow, the natural rhythm they create when used correctly. Picture this like a love story snippet. He bought a ring and proposed during an unforgettable moment under the stars. See, a ring or sound, consonant. An unforgettable sound, vowel. It just rolls off the tongue. Or maybe a travel thought. We booked a hotel near the beach just for an escape from city life.
Mm.
A hotel, that H is pronounced, it's a consonant sound. An escape, clear E vowel sound. Or even something simple from, say, a classroom. I gave an answer in class and asked a question right after.
Straightforward.
An answer A sound, question Q sound. And here's one that's more about mindset, quite powerful. All it takes is an idea, a goal, and a decision to change your life.
When you say these phrases out loud, you can really feel how smooth the correct version is.
It's absolutely true. And, native speakers, we don't consciously think about this rule. Not at all. It's just ingrained, like muscle memory, built up over years and years of hearing and speaking. For you, as an advanced learner aiming higher, it's about building that same kind of automaticity. How? Through conscious, focused practice. Eventually, it just starts to sound right. You feel it. And that feeling, that effortlessness, that's what fluency is all about. And the payoff for getting this right, for making A versus and totally automatic, it really goes beyond just sounding grammatically correct. There are real emotional benefits, like believing in yourself more when you speak English, feeling genuinely proud of how you sound, maybe losing some of that fear around public speaking, or feeling less nervous walking into interviews or important meetings.
Yeah, definitely.
It helps you actually enjoy using the language, instead of constantly being on edge about small mistakes.
And the practical benefits are huge too. Think about it. Your writing gets cleaner, more professional emails, reports, everything. You make a stronger impression, whether it's with interviewers or colleagues. You avoid those little linguistic stumbles, those tiny things that, unfairly maybe, can sometimes distract from an otherwise brilliant point we're making. Basically, when your grammar is clean, natural, almost invisible, your message gets through with so much more power. It becomes undeniably strong.
Okay, so the big question then is how? How do we bridge that gap from knowing the rule to making it completely automatic, that native-like flow? Teacher Sam has some really genius practical suggestions. First one, record yourself reading aloud.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah, grab anything, an online article, a TED Talk transcript, even just a social media post. Read it out loud. Then, and this is key, listen back specifically for your A's and S's. Did you get them right every time? That feedback loop is so powerful.
It really is. That auditory self-correction, it trains your ear to connect the visual word with the right sound pattern instinctively. Another fantastic tip is doing quick fill-in-the-blank drills. Regularly, like daily if you can.
Give us an example.
Okay, simple ones. I saw eagle flying.
The eagle.
Right, she gave me an honest answer.
An honest answer. Silent H.
Exactly, he works in university in London.
The university, you sound again.
You got it. Doing even just, say, 10 of these rapid fires every day really builds that instant recognition muscle.
I like that. And another one I find really effective, especially for flow, is practicing in chunks. Not just isolated words. Practice entire common phrases until they feel like single units. Things like a decision, an opportunity, a unique idea, or an unusual result, a headache, an hour off.
Right, memorizing them as blocks.
Yeah. The more of these you internalize as chunks, the less you have to actively construct them in the middle of speaking. It frees up your brain.
That's spot on. It's about recognizing and reproducing patterns. And speaking of patterns, another really immersive way is watching English movies or shows, but with the English subtitles on.
Okay.
Don't just watch passively. Actively listen for every A and N. Notice how naturally the actors use them. Pause the show, repeat the phrase out loud, try to mimic their exact flow, their rhythm. You're absorbing it subconsciously that way.
That's a good tip. And one last really practical one. Write a journal entry every day, consciously applying the rule, like the example given. Today, I had an appointment with the doctor. It was an interesting conversation. After that, I grabbed a sandwich and took an umbrella.
Putting it into your own words.
Exactly. It forces you to apply the rule in a context that's meaningful to you, which really helps it stick.
You see the common thread in all these tips. They're not about passively reading grammar rules. They're all about active engagement. Doing something with the language. That's how you build that linguistic muscle memory. You're turning conscious knowledge into an unconscious, effortless skill.
And let's bring this back to something maybe a bit deeper, more personal. Because language isn't just grammar, is it? It's about expressing your life, your experiences, your ideas. When you're telling your story in English, whatever that story is. You want to sound intelligent? Sure, but also confident, sincere. You want your emotions to come through clearly without, tripping over small words. You want to be able to say something like, I had an opportunity to start over and have that land with real conviction.
Yes.
Or, I made a choice to follow my dream and have it sound strong and clear.
Exactly right. These seemingly small words, A and N, when you use them correctly and effortlessly, they do more than just fill a grammatical slot. They carry emotion. They shape the rhythm and impact of your message. The better you use them, the stronger, the clearer, the more authentic your personal message becomes. So it's definitely not just grammar. It's fundamental to how you want your story, your voice to be heard by the world.
And, it's not just about our own stories.
Yeah.
Think about some of the most memorable, powerful quotes from leaders, thinkers, history. They often use a and an with such perfect, simple precision, like Chris Gardner. An idea can change the world, just flows.
Hmm.
Or Lao Tzu, a journey 1,000 miles begins with a single step, smooth.
Classic.
Aesop, an act of kindness is never wasted, beautiful rhythm. And Napoleon Hill, a dream written down with a date becomes a goal. That structure works.
What's so striking about those examples is how fundamental grammar, used flawlessly, underpins these really profound and lasting statements. The clarity is there, the rhythm draws you in, the impact is undeniable, and it all rests in part on getting these small, precise choices absolutely right. They don't just say the words, the grammar helps make the words resonate.
So yes, and might seem like small details in the grand scheme of learning English, but the confidence, the polish, the sheer fluency you gain from mastering them, from making them effortless, that's huge. It really elevates everything else.
It's a fantastic way to think about it. You're not just tweaking a minor grammar rule here. You are genuinely building a stronger foundation. A foundation for a voice that sounds clear, intelligent, natural, inspiring even. Let these little words be a reflection of the articulate, thoughtful, and truly fluent communicator you are becoming.
So keep up the great work. Keep practicing, keep listening, keep refining. This deep dive today is just one step, right? One step on that ongoing journey of mastering English communication. One sound, one word, one effortless phrase at a time. Speak confidently, write clearly, and think deeply.